Hello and welcome back to Big Apple Baseball Banter, episode number 11. Well, I can't talk today, apparently. We're talking about recent MLB news and the best player from every MLB team. Let's banter. That intro is all over the place. Hi, welcome back to Big Apple Baseball Banter.
Oh, yeah.
What's up, guys? Hope you guys are having a great day. Happy Hanukkah to all you guys celebrating, just like myself. And we got a good show for you guys today. And let me bring on my co-host, Big Apple Ben. Big Apple Ben, why don't you introduce the people to our Instagram?
Oh, yeah. If you haven't already, follow big.apple.baseball.banter. Oh, my God.
Man, neither of us can talk today. Jesus.
Yeah, it is an insane Instagram account. Forgot that it was Instagram for a quick sec there.
Yeah, Facebook.
Yep. But we cover all the latest news, and we drop every news article an hour late.
Well, we
So-
cover most news. We miss a lot of stuff, too.
Well, we get the big stuff in there.
we get the
Nobody wants to
important.
really
No one
hear
cares
about
about-
Mike Zunino or whatever.
Oh, I got the MLB Transactions Daily Instagram pulled up to go through the recent stuff, but that's on there, so we'll address that a little bit. But yeah, guys, also 556-24931. Call in, leave your voicemails. No voicemail segment this week. You guys suck. I'm just kidding. We love you guys. Some housekeeping stuff out of the way. We're changing up our thumbnail theme a bit. Thumbnail theme, geez, it's kind of tough. But Ben's doing thumbnails now. I think they're better. Hopefully you guys enjoyed them too. Me and Ben have talked about this, kind of diversifying our content a bit. So tomorrow, or it'll be the video after this, I made a video essay about if Luis Rojas, Mets manager, can be successful. And I recently started using a new editing software because iMovie sucks, and I'm trying to use DaVinci Resolve. Something happened. I tried to make it all nice with the editing. I'm still learning the program, but this one's going to be out without the cool editing. But it'll be more than just a still screen. Just know that it's around like 9 to 10 minute video. So it's different from the long podcast, and also with the titles being shorter, not like a list of stuff. YouTube algorithm will appreciate that more. So we're also gonna I'm gonna try to do this. Kind of upload some of the highlights from the podcast too, so you don't have to listen to the full episode. Like there's some
Nice.
sports podcasts, like a guy like Strong Opinion Sports, football guy I watch. He kind of does the full podcast and then uploads the individual parts. So I'll do that. I know I've been slacking on the timestamps recently, but I'll try to get better about that too. But yeah, we're just trying to do more with the channel. Maybe Ben will do some Yankees video essays about why Aaron Judge is so injury prone.
Oh yeah. It's coming.
Yeah, you're gonna collab with a doctor. Yeah. Speaking of collab, if there's any MLB, Mets, Yankees channels that watch us, hit us up. I really want to collab with someone. So
That'd be so cool.
yeah, we're trying to grow our channel within like the this new MLB community. So that's something I really want to do. But we got a good show for you guys. So let's start with some recent Mets news. So let's talk front office. So Mets hired their GM, Jared Porter. He had his introductory press conference. I honestly didn't watch the whole thing. I watched a few minutes of it. And this GM is interesting because it's not your typical GM, because you kind of – so originally how the new Mets regime was supposed to work was Steve Cohen came in with Sandy Alderson as team president. Sandy Alderson wanted to find a GM and a president of baseball operations, which the president of baseball operations is above the GM when it comes to the baseball decisions. He couldn't really find that because a lot of teams don't want to let their best front office people go interview for other jobs. So they said, oh, let's just go just GM. Sandy Alderson's going to be making the majority of the moves, but slowly the power is going to be going to Jared Porter. And people love this guy. And some of the stuff I heard him say, it's like baseball baseball stuff, I'll say I very much agree with. I wasn't 100% about. I liked Sandy Alderson's time with the Mets, but I wasn't 100%, on board with him doing everything. But also, I think a lot of it was him being scrapped for cash with the Wilpons. So hopefully with him with a bigger budget. And they've already been making moves, and everyone's pretty high on this guy. So Jared Porter, originally with the Red Sox under Theo Epstein, won a World Series there, won a World Series with the Cubs, and then won a World Series with the Diamondbacks. And I really liked the Diamondbacks roster last year. They just didn't perform.
Oh, not at all.
Which I'm surprised. I like their man. I like Torey Lovello, but I'm surprised I'm surprised they didn't let him go after this year. I'm surprised a lot of managers stayed. Like they're compared to last year, there's not that much manager change. Like you have
I don't think teams want to go through the trouble.
Yeah.
Especially after a shortened year in which results
Exactly.
aren't necessarily set at a 162 game season.
Yeah,
You
like
don't
the only
necessarily.
teams that got a new manager were the White Sox, which what the hell are they doing?
Yeah, like what the
and then
fuck?
the Tigers, I like to hire a lot. I know you could say what you want with Hinch, but as a strictly baseball, great hire. And then the Red Sox kind of made a new hire, not really. It's basically like taking a guy off the restricted list with Cora, and I don't know if I'm missing anyone, but that sounds about right.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
I
I'm
mean,
surprised the Rangers didn't fire their manager. He did a horrific job last year.
especially after the incident with
Oh
Tatis.
yeah, that's ridiculous too. But
Chris Woodworth, you're my least favorite. Like out of everyone, you're my least favorite.
manager, well, there aren't that many
Yeah.
managers to hate. I'd still have LaRussa one because of his. I'm a famous baseball person. Check out my ring. That shit's
Okay,
annoying.
yeah, that never mind. I changed. Lewis
But
is my
Woodward
number one.
two, and then Aaron Boone three because people want to tell me how good he is. Um,
Well, I mean, I'm
not
talking about
you.
managers, not necessarily reputation.
Yeah, no, I know as people, yeah. But
All right.
but yeah, Jared Porter, and he's well respected. There's not with a guy who's an assistant GM, you can't really evaluate the lineups he's put together. But you're bringing in a baseball guy, which I like. Sandy Alderson has familiarity. Both of them kind of have familiarity with being a baseball guy and a financial guy. So I'm really looking forward to that. Not much to say there, just because Porter's not going to be making the big baseball decisions. It's not like when you had Brody Van Wagenen and he's the guy. So it's an interesting reporting structure, but Jared Porter's basically going to be groomed to go full time in about 2 years probably. So and Sandy Alderson, I think his role is still called team president, but he's almost like president of baseball operations right now. But I like what Steve Cohen did is bringing in a guy really familiar with the organization, so Steve Cohen doesn't try to build a front office himself, because he said, I'm not a baseball guy. So I'm going to bring in a baseball guy that I trust and then let him put together the front office and then let him step away. I really like that, actually. So, yeah.
Mhm.
Also, Dave Jouse, I think that's his name is, bench coach. I
I'm
like
not
the
sure.
hire. Not much to say there. Just when you have a young manager like Luis Rojas, I think it's important to have a veteran bench coach who he has familiarity with, and that's what the guy is. So, sweet. Yeah.
Nice.
So Mets news. We signed James McCann. We talked about it last time. We officially signed him. And man, I like this contract a lot. 4 years, I think it's
Yeah, you
4
stole
years,
him.
41.5 or something like that. Which
An
that's around
absolute
10 million a
steal.
year, which is great. Especially Real Muto is probably gonna, his value is probably what, 25 a year.
I think that signing brought it down at least $3 million a year.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. And they said they were looking at Real Muto, but it's kind of a time aspect that he didn't want to sign, late. They want to get their catcher and kind of be done with it, which
Mhm.
I'm fine with that too. But yeah, James McCann, we talked about him more last time, so there's not really much like to, evaluate the player or anything, but
Yeah.
great signing. Once I saw that price tag, I was a happy
Oh
boy.
my.
So any Yankee news? Did you guys sign anyone? Oh wait, no, you guys are like poor all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's very stale over here in the Bronx. We haven't really done anything at all. At all.
Oh, that sounds like the
And
playoffs.
shut the fuck. I didn't like that one.
Sounds
That
like your
one hit
guys'
where it
World
hurt.
Series last 10 years.
Well, I mean, you didn't win it.
I'm talking about we've gone to one.
I don't care. You don't win. Nobody
Yeah, so I'm talking
cares
about
about the
what you've
runner
done in
up.
the World Series. You've done nothing in the World Series because you literally haven't. But keep going, yeah.
Yeah, so we're kind of like dead in the water right now. Their complacency is irritating me on a level that I cannot really tell you. They
Yep.
are apparently their last transactions with DJ. They
But you're
were
25 mil off.
$25 million.
I'd start getting
Which,
worried, man, if I were you.
oh, I'm shaking in my boots because 25 million is a lot of money. And what I'm guessing is it sounds a bit more than what people are really worried about. Because if we think about it, if DJ is looking for a 5-year, $100 million deal, and the
You can't
Yankees
do
are
that.
looking, yeah,
5 years?
he's
What
not
is he,
going to.
33?
32.
Okay, that's
So
not. Well, if it's more of a
it's not
contact hitter, it's not
outrageous.
awful. Like Nelson Cruz is hitting donk shots at like 41.
Woohoo! But like, he doesn't really play defense at all.
Yeah.
That's the
Well,
difference
DJ
between
still can, and you could
Nelson.
always move him to first base too. He's got
That
versatility.
is very true. hmm But the Yankees are looking to get him for 4 years, around $75 million. 4 years, 75 to 5 years, 100 mil. That's just that's 25 million right there. So I think that's what they mean when they say that. It just
Yeah, I
sounds
think
really bad.
490, kind of something like that. I think would be what he's going for. Yeah, there's other
Four.
teams that are going to bid the price up though. Like I think the Blue Jays are going to get involved.
hmm
I think there's
The Blue
definitely
Jays are getting somebody this year. I don't
yeah,
know who it is, but they're getting somebody.
yeah, probably Springer. Actually, no, he's probably coming in the Mets, but they're definitely getting someone. So also I wanted Boone actually said he's like been the MVP for the past 2 years. If combine the past 2 years, now Mike Trout exists, but anyways, I want to ask you something. I was listening to Talking Yanks, which I know I'm a Mets fan, but it's an entertaining show, and they got their intro song is amazing. Talking about John Boy, Talking Yanks with old John Boy, yeah. But so they
Maybe we
brought
can
up
collab with John Boy.
one day, but man.
If you're watching.
He's not. But one thing I want to ask you is, what do you think Miguel Andujar's future is with the Yankees? Because they were mentioning that on that show.
um, I think if they don't trade him, they're going to be really sorry about it in 5, 6 years. I don't see him having a future here or
Like they
anywhere.
say he's versatile, like because he can play multiple positions, but he sucks at
Well,
all.
that's like saying Nelson Cruz can play both left and right field. It doesn't really make too much a difference.
Yeah, it's like Dom Smith is super versatile because he can play first base and left field. Like he plays left field because of his circumstance. Like he's not a good
hmm
left fielder.
Yes.
Um,
I don't see Miguel Andujar having a future here because I actually had high hopes for him coming into 2020 because like during summer camp, he was the first person to really actually hit Garrett Cole. He took him deep to right.
right, yeah.
So I was like, "Oh my god, Miggy's back." And Miggy's
Don't
gone
call him
again.
Miggy, dude. No, that
That's
pisses
what
me off.
that.
He's not. There's one Miggy. It's Miguel Cabrera. He can be
Well, he's going to
he
retire
can
soon
be
enough.
Andy. Like Miguel Andujar does not compare to Miggy. Real Miggy.
Obviously. Miggy. Nope, never mind. I don't
No,
like
no, it's
that.
Andy. We're calling him Andy. You heard
All
it
right,
here
Andy.
first on Big Apple Baseball Banter. Miggy. I mean, no, Andy. Miguel Andy. Hey, yo, Andy, you
Miggy Andy.
suck. Learn how to field. But yeah, that's cool. Anyways, moving on to some recent MLB transactions. So my boy Chris Flexen back in the MLB. No, I'm just kidding. Chris Flexen sucks, but he played in Japan last year and was good. The Doosan in the KBO with the Doosan Bears. And does it say his stats? 3 ERA. Yeah, I think it's 3 ERA, which is solid. Cool.
hmm
Other news, Phillies hired Dave Dombrowski. I love it because he's not a good GM, and the Phillies fans say goodbye to Alec Boehm, say goodbye to Spencer How. Well, that's kind of their only prospects. Say goodbye to everyone except
Yeah,
like
that was
Bryce
like
Harper.
not
And
making sense to me because
yeah, if
I
the
don't think
Phillies,
the Phillies should
I
go
think they
for it.
wanted to. I think they wanted to save their reputation that they want. That like the owner said like they're poor and they're like, oh shoot, now the fans hate us. Let's make it seem like we're going to spend.
Oh, I got you.
They
Well, I mean,
like if
Dave
Theo Epstein
Dombrowski, I
was
mean,
if Theo
he could be
Epstein was
putting up
taking a
a.
job, that would be a perfect fit for them because he's kind of rebuilt teams before. But I'm not. I'm not a Dombrowski guy at all.
I thought Dombrowski was the opposite of rebuild, just like
He
trade
is.
everyone
That's what I'm
away.
talking
Yeah,
about. Yeah, win now. That they
yeah.
need. They need not. They don't. They can't rebuild because they have Bryce Harper, but
Hmm.
you got to be able to keep your prospects and acquire more. But
Yes.
like they shouldn't be trading Zach Wheeler and like the Phillies team is awful right now. Like I don't even know if Aaron Nola's a one. Like he's a bit inconsistent. You got Zach Wheeler. That's about it. Pitching wise, the
Well, they're
bullpen is.
both they're both necessarily like ones or twos. Together, they're a 1-2 punch.
Yeah, but I
I don't
think
think.
both of them are 2 level starters.
All right, I get that. I mean, I don't know. They've both had very good flashes, especially
Yeah,
last year. They
flashes.
were both insane.
An ace isn't flashes. It's great every start.
Well, Garrett Cole went on a 3-4 start sequence in which he couldn't throw a pitch that didn't leave the yard. So I think it's flashes of terribleness do happen with
Yeah,
aces.
occasionally, but I'm talking about super consistent. Like I don't know, but Aaron Nola at his best, I don't know if he's. I don't think he's at his best enough to be. Yeah, he's definitely an ace with his circumstances. I'm taking the word from. There's a Phillies channel I watched, and he said I don't even know if Aaron Nola's an ace, and that's what he said. So
I would question it, but I do think he
he can
like
be.
yes.
Yeah, their
And I would
bullpen is.
not be upset putting him
Yeah,
as number one in my rotation.
their bullpen is also terrible.
Why
It's so
haven't
bad.
they signed anyone?
They will, but no one's really signed yet. But
I don't care. That should be their first priority. I mean, Greg Holland just signed with the Royals.
yeah.
Claudio just signed with the Angels.
Oh yeah, here we'll get to that in a sec. Let's keep shitting on the Phillies because I'm having fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, their lineup isn't good either. You got right now it's like Andrew Knapp at behind the plate. You got
He's
like
got a good
Dean
eye.
Segura and like Scott Kingery as your middle guys. Andrew McCutchen, Jay Bruce, and Adam Hazley, Roman Quinn. Like, no,
Roman Quinn.
Roman Quinn's terrible.
He is one of my favorite players.
Okay,
Because,
I don't understand your taste. I know Tyler Rogers. Okay, cool, but man, Roman Quinn.
well, you see, I take advice from the big man himself, A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez. And
Oh, why? Because he
so,
can bunt.
yes, Roman
Roman Quinn
Quinn
can
can
bunt.
bunt with the best of them. I think he has a great future, and in a couple of years, he's going to be signing that 3-year, $57 million deal. You heard it
Shit.
here first.
Oh shit.
It's
All
all
right.
going to be bunt every single at bat.
Nice. Was he gonna hit 1,000 bunting?
1002.
What happens when they decide to make an adjustment and bring the infield all the way in every time?
Then he's going to bunt over the infield.
Have you seen that video of Ichiro who bunted a home run?
Yup,
I
yup,
don't know
yup.
how does that work?
I have no idea.
What the pitch comes in a special way that.
Who knows?
Anyways, moving
It's an
on.
Ichiro thing.
Rangers traded Nate Lowe and Jake Gunter, a player to be named later, for catcher / outfielder Herberto Hernandez, Oliveris Babs. Oh my God. Oliveris Basabe and Alexander Ovalles. Solid move by the Rangers, I guess. Decent first baseman. I don't know. I guess they're low-level prospects. They'll probably end up being studs with the Rays, but yeah, not
Yeah.
really much to say. Rangers made another move. They signed David Dahl to a 1-year contract. I think these are kind of guys that could, Also, Nate Lau has a ton of control. I saw in a video he has I think 8 years of control or something nuts like that.
Either way, I'm happy to see him gone because he looked like he
Base
had a good
stealer.
future. Yeah.
Yeah, David
Good skill
Dahl
set.
also signed with the Rangers. Maybe this is a guy, if he stays healthy, he's a really good player. He's
This
probably going to
seems
be
like a pickup and like
and
flip
flip at the
kind of
deadline.
situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think what is he going? He's probably going to be playing center field because Joey Gallo is a
Hmm.
good center fielder, but he just won a Gold Glove in right. Like he's probably a top 5 defensive right fielder in the game.
Oh, for sure.
So I don't think you're moving him. So David Dahl could play center field. He could play, not amazing, but pretty good, especially in Colorado. Like that means you can play it well somewhere else. So,
Hmm.
and then Red Sox sign Hunter Renfroe to a 1-year contract. Good low risk, high reward kind of signing. It was a disaster trade for the Rays, but a ton of power from the right hand side. What you can platoon him with a Andrew Benintendi or whatever because he hasn't been good for a little bit. With Benny
Yep.
biceps they call him, yeah. So you could have hit them platoon, and then you could do Verdugo in center, and then you sign a right fielder, or you do Benintendi in left, Renfroe in right, Verdugo in center, or I don't think they're bringing back Jack Bradley Jr. So
No, not after this.
yeah. So, yep, decent signing. Royals re-signed Greg Holland. I think this is like a flip deal. So
Hmm.
deadline, Greg Holland better pack his bags. And then Angels signed Alex Claudio to a 1-year contract. Former Brewers, just adding depth that bullpen, which they haven't had in a bit. Isn't he? He's like a sidewinder, right?
Almost, almost. I wouldn't call him
He
side
throws
armor, but
funky, right?
very, very low three quarters. Yeah,
Yeah,
very
he throws
funky.
funky. And then the Mariners signed Kenyon Middleton to 1-year deal. Who's this? Right hand relief pitcher. Who cares? Rays signed Mike Zunino to a 1-year contract. Awful hitter, but great defensive catcher. He's basically the definition of home run or bust. So he'll either hit a home run
Yeah,
or he's out. Which in the playoffs he actually hit a couple home runs. So
he
um
did. And just like against the Yankees, it was like he struck out 5 times and then he hit a home run. And it was just that cycle over and over
yeah.
and over. And I hated him.
And a team
Hated
like
it.
the Rays built around starting pitching, you kind of need to have a good, defensive guy who can call a great game behind the plate. So I like it's a great fit for them. Obviously, I think they need to get another guy there. I know they let their other catcher, was it Martin Perez or something? I know
Yeah.
they DFA'd him. I think he's on the Orioles now. Not quite sure, but get him,
Yeah.
better offensive guy back there too to go along with him. Reds
Mhm.
acquire Scott Heineman from the Rangers for infielder Jose Acosta. I'll be honest, I'm not familiar with him at all. Are you?
Not Jose, no.
Or Scott Heineman?
He's
Or
a light hitting, just prospect kind of non-developed kind of hitter.
right,
Hasn't
okay.
really gone on to do anything yet.
Giants signed Anthony Desclafani, Disco, as Power calls him in the vlog series, to 1-year contract. I thought I don't think this is going to be a flip, a sign and flip deal because it looks like the Giants are semi going for it. I think this
Yeah,
this deal could work out. He's had decent years in the past.
great
This could be like
slider.
this could be a good like Kevin Gausman situation, low risk,
Hmm.
high reward signing, and then you either extend them or you trade them, something like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
a good move by the Giants. So that's pretty much all the recent MLB news. I want to get into some Mets rumors. So the new rumor is that the Rockies are calling Nolan Arenado about the Mets. I mean, they're calling the Mets about Nolan Arenado. What the hell did I just say? Um, and Mets fans confuse me sometimes because everyone I'm seeing, oh no, 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 he's too expensive. He's
What?
he's gonna,
Expensive?
yeah, he's gonna,
You want Bauer. You want Springer. He's too expensive. That what?
yeah, or
What?
he's too old. Well, he's 29. He's not too old.
He
Or
looks pretty old.
or he looks old, but he's not old. He's not old. Or it's
No.
not a need. It's not a need. I'm sorry. This is the best third baseman in freaking baseball. You want to know why I told him he's the most underrated player on his team? Because people say bullshit like this. Oh, he's not that good, dude. He's probably a top 5 player in the game. And
He's probably the
these two trades, I
greatest
saw.
defensive third baseman all time. Maybe greatest defensive player all time.
Yeah, like I have Matt Chapman one right now, but they're pretty much identical. And I've talked about how
Hmm.
they're high school teammates. So I have these two trades for Arenado, which the Rockies, if they do this, are stupid. But Nolan Arenado for Jerry Familia, J.D. Davis, and Josh Wolf. So the thing is, people are saying this is a chance to cut the Mets to dump a salary because it's such an expensive contract. If that's true, then yeah, sign me up because you don't have to give up too much. Or I'd rather give up more just to dump a contract. But I don't think they would take Jerry Familia. I honestly think he's actually a good fit for Coors because he's a ground ball pitcher. He doesn't really give up home runs. It's just the control for him has been really bad. The walks have been, but he's a sinker guy, so he's not obviously gonna be great. He's sucked with the Mets. So I don't think he's gonna be any better for the Rockies, but a good swing. And then J.D. Davis can be Arenado's replacement. I kind of see him more as a long-term first baseman. Just because kind of a lot of times shitty third basemen make good first basemen.
Yeah.
And then Josh Wolf, I believe to be a pitching prospect. Rockies always need some pitching depth. And then the other one is Nolan Arenado for Robinson Cano, Brandon Nimmo, and Brett Beatty. I would do that in a freaking heartbeat. And I'm hearing like, oh no, I don't want to give up Nimmo.
What?
Nimmo is a good player, but my God, do Mets fans overrate him. I don't care if he has a 400 on base percentage. The dude doesn't really hit well. He walks incredibly well.
400 on base percentage.
But he's replaceable.
It's insane.
I know, but he's replaceable.
Definitely.
Okay, you can get another, good. Also, people are saying, oh, he's our center. This also, we need George Springer. Well, George Springer is going to give you 3 or 2 years out in center field. He's probably going to be a 6-year contract. You got to move him over to the corner. You got to get rid of Nimmo then. You don't want Nolan Arenado because you don't want to give up Brandon Nimmo. That's just crazy. And Brett Beatty's one of our top prospects, which I don't want to give up. Super top prospects, but this gives you the opportunity to dump Cano. And I don't think the Rockies would do this. I think.
Oh, no way. No way.
I think I would. I think there is a chance you would be able to put Cano in a trade for the Rockies, and
no.
The
reason I say that is because the real reason the Rockies would ever trade Arenado is they know they're not near contention and they just want to dump his salary.
He also has an opt-out clause in his contract. They know he's not. He doesn't want to be in Colorado.
Oh, we all know he doesn't want to be in Colorado, but how many years until the opt-out?
This is 1 year, and then the opt-out.
Oh.
And if he comes to the Mets, I don't think he's taking it. And if if he comes to the Mets, I honestly kind of pray for him to have a bit of a down year because I don't think he's making this money again.
Mm-hmm.
Which he's getting paid a ton, but he kind of should when he's the best third baseman in baseball. Also, he's not a need. Yes, he is. Our team sucks defensively. This guy's, is so good
defensively. The definition of defense.
Yeah. This dude. So I'd rather get Arenado over Springer. I'd rather get Arenado over Lindor, honestly. Actually, pretty close with those two, just because Lindor's age is so nice. He's only 26, which is crazy.
Oh my God!
He's been playing for a while, but
yeah,
he came up young, but yeah. But I would trade for Nolan Arenado in a heartbeat, and I'd give up Nimmo, and I wouldn't give a shit.
I'd give up Nimmo too if I were you.
Yeah, Nimmo. You're cool, man, but you're not really what the team. You're not a great defender, and you walk. But I'm not discounting a 400 on base percentage, but he's kind of a one-trick pony, and Mets fans overrate him.
Well, I mean, that one trick is an insane trick.
It is, but and he's so he has his little quirk of sprinting on a walk or when he gets hit by a pitch or something, which that's cool and all. But also Mets fans want him to play over Dom Smith, because no DH and because added defense. Well, Nimmo ain't great at defensively, and Smith is just your second best hitter. So I'm willing to take down that defense. I wouldn't trade either just because of the DH. The DH will come after this year because CBA is coming up, and I don't think there's anyone who doesn't want it. So
yeah.
So I'm gonna take you to remember that top 10 catcher video or that top 10 catcher list I read you that was really bad.
Yeah.
Well, the same guy released another list for first base.
Oh,
it's not as bad, but it's still bad.
Yeah, it's hard to mess up with first baseman because it's just offense.
Yeah. All right. So Number 10, Carlos Santana. I'd put him a bit lower, but he's definitely up there.
Yeah.
9. My God, Jose Abreu is 9. It's like number 3 or number 2 in my opinion. Think about this. Dude just won
Maybe
an
he should
Dude
just
just won
go
an
and win
MVP.
another
Yeah.
MVP.
Dude just won an MVP, and then his biggest doc, has been, oh, he's not good defensively. He literally learned how to field out of nowhere last year.
He had 5 defensive runs
Yeah,
saved in a
he was a
60-game
stud
season.
stud in the field last year. And dude just won MVP. He's hit phenomenally his whole career. So
I think it solidified his Hall of Fame case.
yeah, dude.
Like,
Crazy
you're
to
putting
say. It's crazy to say that, but at the rate he's going, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Freddie Freeman's MVP makes him a Hall of Famer.
Oh, definitely.
I don't think he could.
No question.
I don't know if he could retire now and be in the Hall of Fame, but he could be it, just not first ballot. But
a few more years and he gets more accumulation.
Yeah,
of
more counting numbers. Yeah,
counting stats. Yeah, that's it.
All right, number 8, Rhys Hoskins, way too high. Good player, another walk guy. I hate the guy just because he's Mets, kind of a Mets killer, and
I don't think that's crazy.
Number 8's too high though, especially the players he left off.
Okay, well, yeah, we got to hear the full list.
Yeah, and
yeah,
and we're gonna obviously do our top 10 first baseman lists in a bit when after the hot stove. But number 7, Luke Voit. I like the spot. There's a couple players above him. I don't know if they are, but Luke Voigt's only really had one phenomenal year. He was decent.
I'd put him 5th.
5th, I think 5th is high. I think 7th is a good spot. I just think there's guys. So number 6 is Pete Alonso. This is a big debate of who's better.
Oh my God, Luke Voigt's better than Pete.
I think I'm bias aside.
I think Pete.
No. Hey, listen up. So Pete Alonso's ceiling is much higher. We can admit that. Pete Alonso at his best is better than. Would have Luke Voigt hit a ton of home runs? Would he have hit 53 if it was a full season last year?
Well, probably not. I mean, wait, actually, no, he was on pace for it.
He was, but I need to see both play another full year. People think Pete Alonso was just god awful last year. Like with the eye test, he kind of was. He was swinging some bad pitches. I think he still had like an 810 OPS.
I thought it was 730.
Let me check, but that's gonna be a big argument for a while if Luke Voigt stays a Yankee, of who's the better player.
Fucking love Luke.
Yeah,
he's so fun to watch.
But
2019 was when we saw him at his absolute best. He had I believe, 36 game on base streak. Or might have been 41.
So Pete Alonso he hit 231, which is really bad. 16 home runs is good. How many did Voigt have? 21?
21, 22. 22, I believe.
So Alonso had an 817 OPS.
Oh, wow.
So I think it's that
I must be thinking of
slugging percentages up.
Yeah, I must be thinking of Matt Olson.
Yeah.
He had a 730.
I think mentally Pete Alonso it seemed like he was getting really down on himself. I think I see a huge bounce back year for him, and I'm not saying that because he's one of my favorite players in the league, if not my favorite player.
It's hard to bounce back from an 810 OPS. That's still really solid.
Yeah, but I think he's going to cut down the strikeouts. I think his batting average ceiling is around 260, something like that. More like a 350 on base, something cool, something good like that. He's going to obviously hit for a ton of power. I think around 42 home runs is pretty realistic. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd guess around that. Maybe 39. 39's my get.
Yeah. Bet. 5, Anthony Rizzo. I think that's a good spot. 4, Matt Olson. I would switch the 2 actually.
Oh my God, not after last year. Get him down.
I still think he's better than Luke Voigt, slightly. But it's just a lot of it is, I know we talk about defense at first doesn't matter, but Luke Voigt isn't good defensively, and Matt Olson
fucking sucks.
And he's got like stone hands, and Matt Olson's elite defensively at first base.
Yes,
So yeah, Paul Goldschmidt 3, good spot. Max Muncy 2, no.
What?
No. Dude, honestly, flip him into Abreu, and then you're good.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I hate
more
this
adjustments.
list.
It's not a list that would anger me if those 2 flipped.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't think it. It wouldn't be as bad as the one before with fucking Tyler Flowers and Mitch Garver where they were, But
Wasn't Mitch Gar? Oh, wait, no, wasn't
4.
like Tyler Flowers
He
4?
was 8. No, Tyler Flowers was 8.
Oh my God. I
But
can't get that list out of my head. I'm getting PTSD.
yeah. And then number 1, Freddie Freeman, pretty obvious. So yeah,
At
not as
least he got
bad.
that one right.
Yeah, not as bad as the other one, but yeah, he didn't even get number 1 right at the last one.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the big chunk of the video. This one will definitely be a podcast highlight. So, what's up, everyone? Today, because I'm kind of like introducing another video, or I'll just keep talking. Doesn't matter.
All right.
All right, guys. So now we're gonna be going over the best player from every MLB team. Ben, are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
You got your takes ready? You got your list?
I got my big list ready.
All right, we're going to go alphabetical by city. Hopefully, if it's not in the right order, then I'll just go first, just so you get a head start. But I gotta pull the stats up, because basically my system is I got the stats, and then when you're talking about your guy, I pull up the stats for the next guy. So first guy, I'm starting it off with a bang. I'm starting off with a big hot take. Best player, Arizona Diamondbacks, is Zach Gallen.
Yo!
It's not Ketel Marte. I gotta say it, man.
Thank you.
Zach Gallen, he's been so good, and he still has so much to show. 2.75 ERA, career 2.78, and he's super young still. He's 25. He came up towards the end of last year and balled out this year. I think he's an ace, man. He's got super fun to watch pitch. I remember when the Mets played him, I'm like, damn, this dude's special, man.
Yeah, he's gonna be good.
Yep, get on the Zach Gallen train. Got him on fantasy. Did well for me. I ended up trading him for Tatis, but yeah, Zach Gallen. I think Ketel Marte. It seems like the obvious guy to pick, but I'm giving the edge to Zach Gallen just because Ketel Marte's had that one monster year and it's had some other bad years. I think Zach Gallen is always been so good.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. After Ketel Marte's 730 OPS last year,
also before his breakout year, he wasn't good before that. Like he had a couple bad years too, but I think Seattle.
Little 1 year wonder.
Yeah. Which I'm not saying he's a bad player. I don't think he is a 1 year wonder, but I think right now I'd give the edge to Zach Gallen.
Oh, for sure. The spin rate's insane. He's going to be great for a while.
Yeah, man. So Atlanta Braves, I think this is before there was always a discussion. I would always lean to this side. A lot of people said Acuna, but I've always said Freddie Freeman, and I think that his season this year really proves that. Now he wasn't very good against the Mets. We beat him with the shift a lot, which I was surprised about. But 1.102 OPS, I think, is all I have to say.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. We were just talking about him being a potential Hall of Famer. I'm guessing that's who you picked.
Yeah, but I do want to give some honorable mention shout-outs to Acuna, Ozuna, and Max Fried for each having insane seasons.
Yeah, they definitely. And we give honorable mentions. Arizona Diamondbacks, I think the guys who could compete for that, Ketel Marte and Eduardo Escobar.
Mm-hmm.
Both who had the whole offense kind of had a down year, but yeah. Baltimore Orioles, I went with Trey Mancini. It looks like he's fully recovered from cancer, so that's awesome to hear. Congrats to him about that. On a shit team, he's always stood out. And in 2019, he had an 899 OPS. You just don't hear about. I feel like he's well known now because people are like, wow, the Orioles got someone. So yeah, I think honorable mention I'd give to Ryan Mountcastle. I talk about him being underrated. I think he can be a very good player in the future. But I'm gonna go Trey Mancini. Who you got?
All right, I went with Anthony Santander because he didn't qualify for ABs, kind of like Ryan Mountcastle. He still amassed for 160 though, and he was by far the most productive piece of the Orioles offense last year, and was actually really good. Almost got that 900 OPS, similar to Trey.
I'm looking at his stats right now. 890. That's real good.
Yep. I also want to give an honorable mention to Ryan Mountcastle. I didn't take into fact Trey Mancini for this year because he didn't really play.
He didn't play at all. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the future, I think all three of them are going to be kind of at the top of the Orioles lineup. They
should trade Mancini. You get a ton back for him.
Little trade.
Yeah. You get a shit ton back for him, and you put him as actual. He's not a very good outfielder because he's kind of a first baseman, and Ryan Mountcastle's a first baseman. So, but you also got the DH. Obviously, you let Nunez go, so you can kind of get those two guys in there. So yeah, Boston Red Sox. It used to be the easiest pick in the world until they traded Mookie Betts. At first, I thought JD Martinez. And then I looked at his numbers from last year. I was like, oh shit, no.
Yeah, like what the fuck
Which,
happened?
especially for DH who can't play the field. So Xander Bogaerts is my pick. One of the most consistent players in the league. Now defensively he's really bad, but he hits so well. Career 805 OPS, and he's been super underrated for a while. 300 batting average this past year, 867 OPS. He's probably their best player. Chris Sale, but could be up there. Just he hasn't pitched in a year, so I don't really know how he's going to bounce back from Tommy John. But
And he didn't pitch good in
he didn't pitch good in
2019.
2019 either. Yeah,
He was
so
above average, but he wasn't necessarily good.
He was hurt a bit too, I think. So yeah, I'm giving it to Xander Bogaerts.
I also went with Xander because he led Boston in slugging percentage, OPS, home runs, and stolen bases.
Cool. White Sox, we talked about this. It's pretty easy. There's a lot of guys to pick, a lot of great players all of a sudden, which is crazy to say because White Sox for a while have been terrible, but it's obviously Jose Abreu. For the same reasons, he won the MVP, justified. No offense, Ben. And
don't worry, I got something cooking.
Yeah. And 370 on base percentage is very good. 987 OPS, phenomenal year. And he started fielding too. Fielding very well. Yeah. So yeah, Jose Abreu, which I don't know if are they going to keep him at first base or are they going to move him to DH when they got that stud first baseman prospect who's coming up, Andrew Vaughn?
Andrew Vaughn. I think Andrew Vaughn's going to be DH.
Yeah, they'll probably mix the two up, rest guys, kind of like what the Mets do with. Or Mets,
I don't know. After Abreu had such a breakout with the glove,
well, you also want to rest days and you don't want to.
That's true.
You can't really develop a young player by DHing him every day.
That's what Mountcastle did.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, we'll find out. We'll see.
Anything else?
Oh yeah. One thing worth noting: his OPS was lower than all of the names I shall list right now. Juan Soto, Freddie Freeman, Marcelo Zuna, DJ LeMahieu, Jose Ramirez, Mike Trout, Dominic Smith, Nelson Cruz, and Ronald Acuna Jr. Yep.
Okay, so half those guys play in the National League, so it's a stupid argument.
Well, we also have to take into mind that both other MVP candidates were on that list, and Mike Trout.
Yeah. I think he won it fair and square, but all right. Next, honorable mentions.
Not to shit on Jose Abreu. You're a great player. I respect you. But
honorable mentions could be guys like Lucas Giolito, Yasmani Grandal, even off a down year. Yohan Moncada, Eloy Jimenez, Luis Robert. A ton of awesome players on that team.
I love the White Sox.
Tim Anderson, yeah. So yeah, this next team had pretty much everyone underperformed. So I kind of went far in the past. I think with the Cubs, I think I'm gonna go Chris Bryant just because he's won an MVP before. Javier Baez, he comes to mind. Anthony Rizzo, but Javi Baez had a down year too, and also
worst year of any hitter. He had the worst year.
Yeah, he strikes out a ton too. So I think Chris Bryant is a very good player, and I think he's probably gonna get traded. But it was hard to pick because there's so many guys who really underperformed. Maybe Yu Darvish, but before this year he hadn't been good for a little bit. So I'm gonna give it to Chris Bryant's got that MVP. So I'm gonna give it to him.
All right, I'm gonna go with Anthony Rizzo because
I thought about him, but yeah,
he was still above average. I mean, he wasn't good. He didn't hit for any average, I should say, but he was still walking a lot and still was above average overall.
Yeah, great first baseman too.
Yeah. Shout out to Kyle Hendricks though, because every year
you love that guy, yeah. All right, Cincinnati Reds, super underrated player here, Sonny Gray. Well, actually no. Do you want to include players that were on the team last year?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay, so Trevor Bauer. Never mind, Trevor Bauer.
All right.
Sonny Gray will probably, if they end up keeping him, he'll probably be. But Obviously, Trevor Bauer won the Cy Young. Even as a Mets fan, he did it very much fairly. I don't care about his competition. Those numbers are disgusting. Now DeGrom should have come in second, no doubt about it. But we're both being salty about our favorite players not winning the awards. But 1.73 ERA, 0.79 WHIP, just disgusting. I want him to be a Met, not only because of team need, but dude, I want to see his vlogs in a Mets uniform.
Oh, for
Like you
real.
see the behind the scenes at Citi Field, like, man, that would be awesome. But yeah, Trevor Bauer.
Yep. I mean, there's really not much to say other than Trevor Bauer here. But a quick shout out to the Reds offense for their highest qualified hitter, having a 226 batting average.
Who is?
Joey Votto.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Man.
He led the team.
Wow. Because I like their offense a lot. Especially they were hot at the beginning, guys like Castellanos, but they cooled off quick. Or
So quick.
they had a rough kind of middle of the season. But, dude, I want to see what they have. I want to see what because they got really hot towards the end of the year. I thought they were my dark horse World Series pick, to be honest. Because look at the Nationals. I'm not ashamed to say it. Look at the Nationals. Their offense wasn't amazing, but they had the big three rotation. The Reds had the big three rotation too. So
plus a much better offense.
not much better, just because you had Juan Soto and Anthony Rendon for the Nationals, and also like Howie Kendrick at the time was playing amazing.
Oh, I was talking about coming into this year.
Oh yeah, no, I'm talking about like when the Nationals made the World Series.
Oh,
No,
I meant for 2020. I thought the Reds were my dark horse.
Oh, same. Yeah, no, same. I compared them to the Nationals the year before.
Oh, okay. I thought you were comparing them this year. My bad.
No. All right, moving on to the Cleveland Indians. Three players come to mind here. I went with Francisco Lindor just because he's been doing it for so long. I think this one's tough because you obviously got J-Ram, but you also got Shane Bieber. He was phenomenal. I think he might be a top 5 pitcher at this point. I usually like to give guys a few years, but he's probably a top 5 pitcher in the game. But I Francisco Lindor, who's probably not going to be on the team next year, slightly edges the rest of them out. But it's almost like a 3-way tie, to be honest.
All right. I don't agree with that at all.
You don't.
I mean, next time Francisco Lindor wins a triple crown, you can hit me up. Shane Bieber just won a fucking triple crown.
I know. Dude, Lindor's been playing for what, 5 years? Bieber for like 2.
Oh, well, still, he was the All-Star Game MVP.
That's true. You're kind of convincing me to go the other way.
And let's not forget Lindor with the 750 OPS on the dot. It doesn't really look like too much of a
Yeah, you're definitely
right
convincing me, but it's almost like a 3-way tie, honestly.
Yeah, I can definitely see the
J-Ram
case.
was phenomenal too. So
J-Ram was insane.
So moving on to the Rockies, this is almost like a 2-way tie. Nolan Arenado and my boy Trevor Story. Also, if the Mets trade for Nolan Arenado, they got to sign Trevor Story the next offseason. Man,
bring him back.
Boys, the Mile High Boys. But yeah, Nolan Arenado. We talked about him earlier, but he's just. I know people say, "Oh, he doesn't hit as good on the road." No one hits as good on the road unless you're playing Tampa or Detroit. But probably top 3 defender overall, regardless of position in the game. He's been super consistent too. Somehow hasn't won an MVP. 890 career OPS. He had, I guess, a down year this year. A lot of players had a down year.
Mm-hmm.
What was kind of rough with him this year was a 303 on base percentage. That's not great, but I don't think it's really saying he's a bad player. A lot of guys had down years in 2020. So, yeah, I'm going to give it to Nolan Arenado.
Yeah, I also went with Nolan Arenado for those, same reasons. Nothing much to say there. Shout out Trevor Story and Charlie Blackmon, but yeah.
Charlie Blackmon's he's good, but he's not.
I mean, as a hitter, not as a player overall.
Yeah, but I don't think he was up for Gold Glove.
Oh my God, he was. My God. Yeah. No way.
But I think he's a very good player. But I don't think he can compare to those other two.
No.
Moving on to this one was tough. Tigers. I wanted a pretty underrated pick. So a lot of before this year, people told me that Matthew Boyd was good. He was horrific. Dude couldn't even pitch in Detroit for crying out loud. I went with another pitcher.
And he's a home run pitcher. That's what kills him. He gives up a million
home runs in Detroit.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah. So I went with another starting pitcher though. I went with Spencer Turnbull. I said he was super underrated. 3.97 ERA, nothing great, but this team sucks. They're so bag.
Yeah.
I actually think their future's decently bright because they got some prospects, but
Casey Mize, Skubal, and
Spencer Torkelson, Tarek Skubal, like guys like that. But right now,
and there's one more pitcher, Matt Manning.
Right now, their major league team is really bad, but eventually, I think, that's why I'd pick Spencer Turnbull. I'm not saying he's terrible. Another guy I thought about going was like Buck Farmer, one of their relievers, but a lot of
it's my favorite name of all time.
Buck Farmer, yeah. Their team is just awful.
Yeah.
I know their second one. I forgot who his name was. Their second baseman had a good year, but that's kind of
Jeimer Candelario.
Yeah. So I'm.
Or no, you must be thinking of Scope.
No. I'm talking about Candelario.
All right,
Scope's a free agent, but
that's a good segue because that was my pick.
Yeah, I assume you're pretty high on him. I assumed you were gonna pick him.
Yeah, he just led Detroit in most offensive categories.
Which isn't saying much.
No, but I mean, we're picking the best player on the team.
He had a good year, yeah.
Yeah.
He's been so inconsistent throughout his career. That's why I kind of avoid him because this obviously isn't just 2020. This is taking in mind recent stuff. Career.
He's still young.
Yeah.
Switch hitter. I like switch hitters.
Yeah, who doesn't? Well, unless they can't switch hit. Ozzy Albies, G-Man Choi. Well, G-Man Choi gave up switch hitting.
Yeah, I know. I was so upset. Like, this man is going to retire with a 500 batting average and a fucking, 2,500 slugging percentage. Hall of Famer?
Yeah, because all the Rays players who are, offensive players who are good, their numbers are inflated because they play matchups, they platoon.
Mm-hmm.
So you look at, their splits versus lefties. It's like Mike Brasso's splits versus righties. Zero average, 0 plate appearances. So moving on to the Houston Astros, the Asterix. This one was tough because there's some good players, but there's also players who kind of usually who I'd consider their best player was terrible last year.
Mm-hmm.
But I went with Alex Bregman. George Springer maybe, but Alex Bregman, he's come in second for MVP before. I really liked Alex Bregman before all this shit came out, and he's I don't like it. His cockiness now. It isn't. I didn't hate it.
It's the wrong cockiness.
But yeah,
now.
It's now the wrong cockiness. And shout out to Fuzzy. I know there's no face cam here, but I'm putting my fingers together. I don't know if you remember his apology. He had his fingertips together. It was really weird. I'd like to and moving his hands. I'd like to apologize, dude. Fuzzy made this video. It was the Astros apologies. Today I'd like to say, and then they look down at the paper. Sorry. It was hilarious. But Alex Bregman, not really a down year, but compared to his 2019, which was incredible.
Yeah.
But this year, stats pull up, 801 OPS, pretty good. Career 902 OPS is phenomenal.
I wonder why.
Yeah, his 2019 was so good though, and I know they're probably it's not 100% if they were cheating. I guarantee you they were cheating a bit. I think I believe the buzzers.
This man had his on base to on batting average was over 127 points. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. Also, he struck out way less than he walked, which is almost unheard of.
Yeah.
I definitely think they cheated in 29. I think I believe in the buzzers, and
believe in the buzzers.
Yeah, but yeah, I still think Bregman's a good player. I just want to see another year of him playing clean. A guy like George Springer, I'd consider. Verlander's a great player, but he's gonna be out this year with Tommy John. You don't even know if he's ever gonna pitch again, to be honest, with his old age. So yeah, Alex Bregman.
He's one of the very few Astros players that I want to see play the day I die.
Yeah. Well, honorable mentions go to, Springer, Michael Brantley, Tatuve,
Tatuve.
and Correa. As much as I hate him, and Zach Greinke's good too. And
Thank God.
my boy Ryan Presley too. He's one of my favorite players to watch because his curveball's so good. That spin rate.
That is, oh my God.
Yeah. Who's your pick?
I went with George Springer because he was really like the only one that didn't have a down year on the offensive side.
That's true. That's very true.
So, I mean, that kind of just proves his legitimacy, I'd say.
He's also phenomenal in the playoffs.
Yes, that's another thing. Uh, but shout out to Christian Javier, one of the guys you didn't mention. He took third in Rookie of the Year voting, but he and Framber Valdez are going to be rotation buddies for a long time, and they look good.
Yeah, man. All right, moving on to the Kansas City Royals. There's a few guys to pick, but I went with Whit Merrifield. Just a really solid player. He can play second base, he can play right field, and let me pull up his numbers here. He also steals bases, which I don't think he will. Won't steal as many. He's getting up there in age.
He's getting
a late
real up
bloomer. But I'm pulling up his numbers right now. So he
764 OPS, if I remember correctly.
Which a lot of it is because he doesn't really, walk a ton. He only has a 325 on base, but 9 home runs, and he plays in a lineup with like little to no protection. I thought about Salvador Perez, but he's never been as good as he was this past year. He's always been more of a defense guy. He obviously missed 2019. Hunter Dozier's a good hitter. He can't field. And Jorge Soler is extremely overrated. So I went with Merrifield.
I went with Salvador Perez because Whit Merrifield had a down year. Loved the versatility, but he was just not the best player in 2020.
Also, the Royals' future pitching staff is going to be good, to be honest.
Oh, my God. Oh, man.
Asa Lacy, Brad Keller, Chris Bubik. What's the other guy?
Bubish.
Brady Singer.
Singer.
University of Florida Gator. Let's go. All right, moving on to the easiest pick of the video. The best player. We got to get a drum roll for this. Best player on the Angels is David Fletcher. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah.
It's obviously Mike Trout. Next, Mookie Betts for the Dodgers. Next, I don't think we even need to have to say anything.
Yeah. Dodgers, I mean,
like
I guess
Bellinger.
You could make I don't know. That's so tough because, like,
both have won MVP. But, like, Mookie Betts, his MVP, he ran away with it. Bellinger's MVP, I honestly think Yelich would have won it if he didn't get hurt at the end of the year.
Yelich should have won, even with the injury.
Better hitter, yeah. Bellinger occasionally just goes cold, but both phenomenal fielders, both great hitters. I would give the edge to Mookie Betts. I think he's the second best player in the game. Dude, it's their outfield's unfair, man.
Oh my God.
They literally, we've talked about this. They have 3 center fielders playing out there. That's like their defense is just so good. So yeah, do you have anything to say?
No.
Yeah, Marlins. This was an interesting pick. There were a few guys originally. I thought maybe Starling Marte, which we all know how much you love him. What's his name?
No, I don't dislike him. I just don't think he's that good.
Sandy Alcantara. I thought about him, but I wanted Brian Anderson.
Nice.
He's been good for a while, man. He had an 810 OPS. He's been just pretty under the radar, but 345 on base, not amazing, but not bad. And he plays a decent third base. He can also play right field.
Oh, his glove is insane.
Bazooka arm too. His arm is ridiculous. But I get to see this guy play a lot. Obviously, as a Mets fan, and it looks like they're starting to kind of build around him a bit more and get some talent around him. So yeah, Brian Anderson, pretty underrated player.
Yeah, definitely Brian Anderson for me as well. However, I do think Sixto Sanchez will take over.
He will be.
Yeah, next year and onward.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the Brewers. I went with Christian Yelich mainly because he's like even after a down year, he's still a phenomenal player.
Yeah.
And also he just like the Brewers were just offensively, especially, were really bad. But like they're not the greatest team. Who else could you think of? Brandon Woodruff. Oh, Josh Hader obviously comes to mind. Maybe Lorenzo. Corbin Burns, Lorenzo Cain when he's playing well.
Or just playing in
Keston,
general.
yeah, Keston Hira. Well, he had a down 2019, but 2018 he was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
But he still has so much value with his glove. Heston Kira, who's kind of the opposite, great hitter, no glove. But I think it's pretty easily Christian Yelich, even after a down year.
Yeah.
Which he had a 786 OPS. Like a lot of his numbers were from how bad he was at the beginning of the year, but I would go with Christian Yelich.
Mm-hmm. I do want to say though, Corbin Burns does look like he is going to be a superstar for at least the next 6-7 years.
Nice.
Like,
how old is he?
He's pretty young. I'm pretty sure he's 26, maybe 25.
Nice.
Either way, though, like, advanced stats love this man, and they usually don't lie. So,
speaking of age, for my next pick in the Minnesota Twins, this dude's 40. Nelson Cruz, man, they got a good team, but like maybe you could think Josh Donaldson definitely comes to mind just because he also has the value with his glove. Mm-hmm. But at 992 OPS at 40 with freaking 16 home runs. Like I know he doesn't have any, value outside of hitting, but that's the most important part of the game. And the dude hits like bananas. So yeah. Nelson Cruz.
This man is legit David Ortiz 2.0.
So who's your pick, Mitch Garver?
Oh, of course. I really like Mitch Garver's defense. His glove was outstanding. It was a breakout season for him last year.
Oh, don't even get started on his hitting.
Well, he's a defense first catcher.
Oh, for sure. He's like Jeff Mathis.
Yes. He is basically Jeff Mathis caliber.
I know we all have our player. We both have a player on the Twins that both of us think is like super overrated. We're not very high on. Like yours is Mitch Garver. Mine's is Jose Barrios. Just because he's made all-star teams doesn't make him particularly great.
Yeah, he had a 4.0 last year.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm assuming you went with. Being serious, I assumed you went with Nelson Cruz too.
Oh, of course. No discussion.
All right.
Actually, no, there is a discussion.
Who?
I really want to talk about Kenta Maeda because I love pitching with a passion, and this man is very fun to watch. Nelson Cruz, I give the edge to, but I love you, Kenta Maeda.
Yeah. Also, I'm a big Byron Buxton guy too. He really out last
love
year.
Byron.
So yeah, when he's playing well, I also think Max Kepler is a very good player. They obviously freaking non-tender released Eddie Rosario for some fucking reason, but Nelson Cruz, yeah. All right, time to get juicy. We're gonna have this one's gonna be fun. New York Yankees. My pick is actually I went with Garrett Cole because at his very best, he's phenomenal. The only two other guys who come to mind are Aaron Judge and DJ LeMahieu. DJ LeMahieu, I was tempted to put, but Garrett Cole's younger. I think he was, for some reason didn't win the Cy Young in 2019. They get to Verlander. It was close, but I would have given it to Cole. He had that stretch,
definitely.
like where he didn't lose a game and like barely gave a run, dude. He was
25 starts.
Yeah, dude, he was ridiculous that year, and Aaron Judge is never on the field, which I know I exaggerate his level of injuries, but the fact that he gets hurt for long periods of time every season, and he hasn't played that many seasons, and so the fact that the majority of them have been injury plagued, that's why I'd give to Garrett Cole. I'm guessing you went LeMahieu, but
yeah, Aaron Judge is not even in the discussion for me. When he's on the field, yes, he's a captain, but I mean,
he's not.
What good is a cap? Yeah, what good is a captain?
Your best ability is your availability.
Oh, I like that. I really like that.
You've never heard that saying before? That's like a popular saying in sports.
Really? I've never heard that.
Oh, really? Oh, nice. Well, now you know.
I must open up my ears a bit better.
Yeah, now every time I mention Aaron Judge, it's going to be like the best ability is availability.
I swear that's going to get old real quick.
Oh, it is.
But yeah, I went with DJ because, as you probably know by now, if you follow Big Apple Baseball Banter on Instagram, you would know that DJ LeMahieu was snubbed of the MVP last year and is quite possibly the greatest player in baseball history.
I'm gonna take that soundbite and I'm gonna like I have like my keyboard right here. I'm gonna set up like where I press a key, it says a bunch of stuff. You know how if you're talking baseball has like the passing button and stuff. Whenever
Yeah.
you say DJ LeMahieu, I'm gonna play that. It's gonna be like DJ LeMahieu is the greatest player in baseball history. That's gonna be. I need to remember to do that. All right,
Oh
New
my
York
God,
Mets.
please
This one's
do.
pretty easy. Jacob deGrom, best pitcher in baseball. His 2018 was one of the best seasons of all time. He had like a 1.8 ERA. I know
1-7.
1.7. Yeah, I know his win loss record is not hasn't always been good, but
That
that's the,
sucks,
yeah,
Boomer.
but that's yeah, win loss record is stupid. He's the best pitcher in baseball. I don't think there's an argument for that. Garrett called my ass. Even though I
Oh
just
yeah.
raved about how good he is, it's Jacob deGrom, and I'm assuming that's who you went with.
Oh yeah. To go all the way.
Yeah, the GOAT. All right, Oakland A's. This was a bit closer, but two of their really good players had down. A lot of their guys had down years, I'm still going to give it to Matt Chapman, just because he's a very good hitter, and that defense is just absurd.
Oh man. He's
His
more
issue,
fun to watch than Nolan.
yeah,
I don't know if he's
I
necessarily better, but
I
he's
think
more
he
fun to
is.
watch.
I think he is. No, what I love what I've seen a lot of interviews with him just because I'm a huge like Matt. He's probably my favorite non-Met, if I'm being honest.
Oh
He
yeah, I
his
would
arm is
guess.
so good and he plays so deep. He literally plays in the outfield. It's insane. And also he makes those. He also plays in playing in Oakland with all that foul ground is
You
like
need to run.
exactly. So yeah, I'd give the but Matt Chapman is so good. Matt Olson or Marcus Simeon were definitely up for discussion last year, but both didn't have great years.
Nah.
I think Jesus Luzardo will eventually be
Oh
up
my
there.
God, he's gonna be so
He's
fun.
gonna be good, but
He and Puck.
yeah,
Ooh.
Puck. Oh yeah.
As long as he stays off the
He
injured
needs to
list
stay
again.
healthy. Yeah, exactly. But I'm gonna give it to Matt Chapman. I'm assuming that's who you went with as well.
I went with Matt Chapman, but I do think that Chris Bassett does deserve a mention because this guy put up a 2.29
Yeah, but it's
ERA.
1 year.
Yeah, obviously. I'm just saying he got no love for it whatsoever.
That's a good point.
Just
Phil-
giving him a little shout out.
Philadelphia Phillies. I went with Bryce Harper. You could probably either give it to Aaron Nola, JT Realmuto, but I think people. I saw this goddamn TPS man, this shitty sports channel. They decided to talk about like baseball for once, which they almost never do, and they're talking
Oh
about
my
like
God.
guys who like overpaid players, and they're like Bryce Harper isn't quite in the range of outfielders like Mookie Betts, and I'm like, don't say it, Aaron Judge, no. That's why I tell him he's overrated. But Bryce Harper's better than Aaron Judge, in my opinion. Value wise, based on contract, hell no. But I don't think Bryce Harper necessarily overpaid because not only is he a great player, he gets butts in the seats. And Bryce Harper at his best is one of like his 2015 year's MVP year was nutty nuts. So yeah, I'm going with Bryce Harper.
Yeah, it was pretty nutty nuts.
Nutty nuts.
Yeah, I mean he's basically just solid defense with a slightly lower level Juan Soto bat, and so yeah, that's who I
That's
went
still
with.
phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still phenomenal to an extent. It's just like he's like Brandon Nimmo
He's way
with
better defensively.
power.
No. He's better defensively than
Well, I'm saying with the bat,
a lot of people. Okay, yeah, a lot of people. Well, yeah, he walks a ton and he hits for a ton of power, but a lot of people think I know he hits low average, but a lot of people think that he's a bad defender because of his 2018, which was his contract year because he wasn't good then, but he clearly wasn't trying to get hurt before a contract year.
Mm.
So
I don't know. I think it's more. I think not necessarily.
he was up for a Gold Glove last year. He also has a
Yeah,
hose for an arm. Yeah.
yeah. I'm not saying he's a bad defender. I just think in 2018 it wasn't necessarily trying to protect injury because that doesn't really go through your mind when you're running after a ball in the outfield. I think it
Yes,
was more
but
just laziness because that's usually what it is, or maybe he was just getting bad jumps for whatever reason.
maybe I'm in the park that he's not going 100% because he's playing for a contract.
I don't know because I've
Dude, if
never.
13 years and like 350 million is coming, like
Well, I mean, I've played
stay
baseball for a
healthy.
long time, and I've never heard anyone say anything like that. Nobody
Yeah, but
tries to
you don't get
protect
paid to
themselves from
play.
injury, huh?
You're not getting paid to play.
That's true, but we all have other commitments that we don't want to get hurt for.
That's true.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe.
So moving on to the Pittsburgh Pirates, this one was kind of tough because the team's so fucking bad. My God, they're awful. Their most well-known player is horrific. Freaking Cole Tucker, because he's well known because he's like dating someone famous or whatever. And
He's not even attractive
he's
either. I mean,
yeah,
his hair. His hair is pirate.
yeah, and and he's like buddies with Cody Bellinger. I don't even know. I went with Brian Hayes though, because when he came up last year, 1.124 OPS in 85
Oh my God, I got
at
scared.
bats.
That's
Like,
insane.
That's nutty nuts.
That's very nutty nuts.
But and also there's absolutely no one else to pick. Like who else you going with? Freaking Kevin Newman, like
Josh
Bell, Brian Reynolds. Like Brian Reynolds last year, yeah, or 2019. But my God, he was bad last year. But
I don't even know where that came from. Like
yeah.
he looked like he was going to be really good.
I saw Draftnik Marks on a live stream. He was super high on him, but he said when he saw him at batting practice at a Pirates game, he was hitting the ball like super soft. And that could be a big aspect with that. But I'm assuming, I know you're a big Cabrine guy. I'm assuming you went with him too.
Yeah, damn it. You stole my pick. I was so excited. I thought you were going to pick somebody jokingly and just
Tyone, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
and then not
good, but not amazing, yeah.
And then you picked Brian Hayes, and I was like, this was my steal.
Isn't he also like a stud defender too?
Oh, I thought he was like really bad, to be honest. I could be wrong though.
I'll look into that. Padres, this was a tough pick. I actually went with Manny Machado just because he has a track record, and Tatis is yet to play a full year, and he kind of cooled off towards the end of last year. It's super close, but I'm giving the edge slightly to Machado. You could also maybe put Mike Clevenger in there, but he's going to be out for the entire year next year. So I went with Machado. Who do you go with?
I went with Machado as well because, I mean, I don't like him. He's really
redeemed
annoying.
himself for me.
Well, I mean, it's hard to redeem yourself unless you do acts of like fun things. I do like it when he flips
because he
back.
hasn't been an asshole recently. He hasn't been playing dirty.
Yeah. So I don't necessarily consider him a bad guy in recent memory.
Right.
But I mean, I can't shake that so easy. I'm gonna need a couple more years before I determine him to be a nice and chill man. Yeah,
that's fair. So San Francisco Giants, I'm shocked this guy was this good last year. Brandon Belt had a 1.015 ERA. I mean, what? Yes.
You did that the same thing with Cabrine Hayes, and I'm flipping out each time.
Because we've been talking pitchers, and so that's the first stat I go to with a pitcher. So, but Brandon Belt was phenomenal last year. 309 average, 425 on base.
Oh my!
And I'm pretty sure he's a good defender. I'm not quite sure.
Oh, he's insane. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he kind of went cold for a couple of years, but man, I don't know if it was just like kind of a fluke comeback or if he's really back. But man, Brandon Bell, man, you can't ignore that.
Oh no way! But I kind of just did because I'm going with
Donnie Barrels?
Mike Yastrzemski.
Oh, Mike Yastrzemski. Yeah, that's a good pick too.
Yeah,
you're not going Tyler Rogers?
Well, I mean, he's, the elite list. I thought we were doing a second, tier ranking for our, Hall of Fame caliber players.
List,
yeah. Yeah. Because the term best isn't good enough for him.
Oh, for sure.
Seeing as he, did finish in the top 10 in strikeouts on the Giants pitching staff last year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he did.
So, Mike Yastrzemski.
Yep.
Spell Yastrzemski. Don't look it up. Spell it.
All right. Y-A.
Hold up. Let me see if you're correct. This is fun.
All right. Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Y-A. Z.
Wrong.
Fuck. It's S-T-R-E-M.
No. S-T. Oh yeah. S-T-R. Yeah. Keep going.
S-T-R-E.
Wrong. It's
what?
Y-A-S Y-S-T-Z.
Oh, there's the Z.
Z-E-M-E. It's like Yastrzemski or some shit like that.
Yeah, who knows? They're some 1950s name.
Yeah, phenomenal player too, though. He had a great year. And center fielder too, so more value there, and then first baseman, but he was great too.
Yeah.
Donovan Solano also had a good year, but I'm giving it to Brandon Belt. Mariners, pretty easy. Kyle Lewis. I know he's just a rookie, but there's not really many other guys to pick, and he had a very good year. Obviously, won Rookie of the Year. Only an 801 OPS, not amazing, but 364 on base is pretty good. And he
That's
plays a great
great.
center field, got speed, and he's gonna be part of that stud outfield with Julio Rodriguez and Jared Kelenic and Taylor Trammell, which I know there's not 4 outfielders, but those are their 4, core outfield.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to prepare for at least one bust.
Yeah.
So.
Which I kind of hope is Kelenic, so we can get him back for cheap.
All right, who knows?
Yeah. I still haven't gotten over that. God damn it.
Yeah, you're pissed off as hell.
Fucking Brody Van Wagenen.
Hop on the Brody wagon.
Yep.
So I went with Kyle Lewis.
Yep.
But I think like he and Margo Gonzalez are on the same kind of level last year. Kyle Lewis is
a way higher ceiling though.
Yeah, and he's way more exciting to watch.
Oh, obviously.
But shout out to Gonzalez for career strikeout number 420.
Hey!
Yep.
It's the one and only.
It's the motherfucking D.
D-O-double-G, Snoop Dogg! Hey! Yeah. All right, moving on. St. Louis Cardinals. Paul Goldschmidt, one of the most well-rounded players in the league. He had the quote down year, but he was still very good in 2019, and he was phenomenal last year, 883 OPS. But man, in the playoffs, 1.055, which I know the Cardinals barely played in the playoffs. He only got 13 at bats, but being clutch in the playoffs like that is super important. And he's such a good, well-rounded player, man. He's won Gold Gloves. He can steal bases. Hits for power, hits for average. He's almost like a 5-tool first baseman, if we're being honest.
Wow, yeah, you're right.
And also, the Cardinals are a good team, but I don't think there's anyone particularly close.
No. I was really high on Jack Flaherty, and then he had such a down year.
How was he last year? Was he really that bad?
4.9 ERA, if I remember correctly.
I'm pulling awful, up. But
and that's pretty bad,
below
especially
average.
in the NL Central.
Good. Exactly, yeah. All right, moving on to the Tampa Bay Rays. I was kind of reluctant to pick this guy at first just because I'm like, just because he had a good postseason. But then I looked at his regular season numbers, and I kind of have to go Randy Arozarena. Like the only other guys that come to mind are like Blake Snell, Brandon Lau, and maybe some of their relievers, Nick Anderson, Diego Castillo, guys like that. But dude, Arozarena in the playoffs, dude, was just unfair.
Yeah, that's the greatest postseason all time, and it's never going to be topped.
377 average, 442 on base, 1.273 OPS or ERA. Sorry, in 77 at bats. 10 home runs.
Yeah, that's the big one.
Yeah,
and the hits too.
Oh right, yeah, 29.
Wow. All right. I went with Brandon Lau. With respects to Ryan Yarbrough, the one person that I would mention that you did not, because while Arozarena was good in the regular season, I mean, he didn't really play more than I think he played like 4 games.
Something
or
like
not
that,
even.
yeah.
No, he was making his debut.
Right.
So
no, he played in the regular season.
I could have sworn he was making his first ever.
He played in the regular season.
Oh, okay.
Wait, did he? Yeah.
Right,
he had 64 at bats.
Oh wow! How did I miss him?
I don't know. He was out with with the Roro, which I've established that's what we're gonna call Corona because.
No.
I just said it. Oh, whatever. It's not like we're getting views anyways.
Yeah, we're starting over right now.
All right. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another. But yeah, Brandon Lau, stud player too. He can play second and he can play right field too. That versatility. And he was phenomenal. He didn't have a very good postseason, but he had that one 3 home run. Was it 2 home run or 3 home run game?
I think it was the 2 home run game.
Right.
I could be. I'm probably wrong.
Yeah, I was either 2 or 3.
It's multi-home run game.
Yeah. So moving on to Texas Rangers. Texas Rangers suck ass. They're terrible. So I went Joey Gallo just because it's high. He has such a high ceiling, and
Mhm.
he's got insane power. But he didn't have a very good year last year. He had a bad year last year. 679 OPS. But man, that glove is so good too.
Oh yeah, and
He
that
just
arm.
Yeah, he just needs to put it together, man. He's only 27. I think he could still yield a huge package in a trade just because he has that ceiling.
Yeah, he just needs to put his life together.
And he can play center field too. I know you want a Gold Glove as a right fielder, but you can still play center field too. So yeah, Joey
Mhm.
Gallo. Not many other
I
guys to
went
pick.
with I went with Lance Lynn just because Gallo fucking sucked and has never really proven to be insane over a very extended period of time. Uh, I mean, obviously he's still an amazing player with, as you said, that incredibly high ceiling. But I do think we got to give some respect where it's due to Big Daddy Dietrich.
Well,
And
can we count Lance Lynn just because I know we're talking about guys that played on the team last year, but I feel like that's only for guys who haven't signed yet. The fact that Lance Lynn isn't even on the Rangers anymore, I don't know. It feels kind of weird to pick him.
yeah, that is pretty weird. I
If
wasn't
it's
really
not
thinking
Lance
about
Lynn,
that.
who are you picking?
Joey Gallo.
Yeah,
Not
that's what I
Rugi
thought.
Odor. Not
Yeah, he's
Elvis.
terrible.
Yep.
So Blue Jays, this was kind of honestly a hard pick. There are a couple guys I could go with, but I actually
Hmm.
went with Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Now, first of all,
Ooh.
Blue Jays fans are idiots because they're saying, "Oh, I don't want Lindor because I don't want to give up Lourdes Gurriel Jr. because Lindor is too old." Well, Lindor is 26, Gurriel's 27. So first of all, do your research.
Yeah.
But 882 OPS. I thought about either Kevin Biggio or Bo Bichette. I think Vlad Guerrero Jr. will be good eventually. He just needs to put it together.
He had a
Hit the ball,
791. Yes.
yeah, hit the ball in the air more. But Gurriel's also a very good outfielder too, defensively. So
With the hose.
yeah, good arm too. So yeah, he's part of that young core in Toronto, and he's probably the best player out of the group right now. Or you could give it to Hyun-Jin Ryu. He's had two stud back-to-back years, but I'm gonna give it to Lourdes Gurriel, the good Gurriel,
Gurriel.
not
Yes, yes. The nice good. The
shitty
nice brother.
not Yuli, the freaking racist. Well, not really. I'm not gonna call him a racist, but fucking him, the shit he did to you Darvish, and he's a cheater.
Yeah, yeah. Things aren't looking too bright for the Yuli Gurriel family right now.
Yeah,
I went with Hyun-Jin Ryu because last year he was the best pitcher in the AL East, and he's a soft thrower, so I love him, a lot because something about soft throwers just make me really happy because
yeah.
they
You
like
got to be very good at pitching to be able to not
yeah,
rely on your stuff being good, but rely
the
on
amount
your
of control and
control and
precision. Oh my
precision exactly.
goodness.
So yeah,
That's probably where, yeah, that's definitely where my love sprouts. Yeah, but Hyun-Jin
why
Ryu
do you
is the
not
best
throw
pitcher
very
in the
hard?
Oh, well, I mean, I don't really know how I throw compared to everybody else because I don't necessarily have a radar gun.
Right.
I think I throw slightly above average.
Dude, I was thinking about this. If we ever hit like a subscriber goal, we got to do like a baseball skills thing where I know you're gonna whoop my ass because I don't play baseball, but like a home run derby, Gold Glove competition. So it's like baseball player versus musician. Um, See who wins. When
I'd probably fuck up in everything.
really
I think
better
too
than
hard.
me. It would just be pure comedy. It would be entertaining. So,
Yeah,
dude, when it
yeah.
gets warm out and we hit a subscriber goal, we got to do that.
Oh, for real.
So, anyways, moving on to the Washington Nationals. Usually, I would probably go with Max Scherzer, but I think Juan Soto's taken over. I think he might be the best. I think of in a couple years or maybe next year. If he had such a good year, he just missed some time with the Roro
Good
and
catch, good catch.
yep, and with the Roro and I think he might be the best left-handed hitter in baseball. I think as a hitter, yes, I think his defense needs to improve a bit, but dude, he is so there's not many guys you fear more than him when he comes up to the plate with that, that confidence and stuff. He's
Oh,
so
that's
good,
swagger.
man.
Hmm. Well, I'm about to have a pretty big hot take, and when I say that, I mean it's not DJ caliber hot take, but it's pretty hot. I think he and Mike Trout are the 2 greatest hitters of all time.
Oh,
And this is like no joke
projection.
whatsoever.
It's a bit of projection though, right?
No,
Like if Juan Soto
he's already
retired,
proved it.
if Juan Soto retired right now, he's not a Hall of Famer though, because he's not.
Oh,
He doesn't have the
obviously.
counting stats. But from a talent perspective, I wouldn't say
Yes.
all time, just because like he hasn't played enough. Like he might just. He has a very slim possibility of just getting the yips, but no, his talent level is absurd.
His talent level is the
Like-
greatest of all time.
Like
He's
for
not
his-
on steroids.
Yeah.
He isn't facing people on steroids.
And also he's so young that like for a young, you never see young hitters having the discipline he has,
Yeah.
which I think is the craziest thing about his game.
He's going to get better.
Yeah,
Or at
that's
least
the
he's
scary
projected.
thing. Like he just needs to get better defensively, and I think he could probably be the third best. Right now, I think I probably have him like 6 or 5. But dude, he might take Mookie Betts over 2. I don't know if he'd go over Mike Trout, just because that's Mike Trout. But no, I see what you're saying. So I'm guessing you went with Josh Harrison.
Oh, of course. I love Josh Harrison's game. His versatility and contact ability.
Yep.
It's a must-have in today's game with so many strikeouts and pop-outs, fly balls, and shit
All
like
right,
that.
so I'm assuming you're going Juan Soto with that.
Oh, my
hot
God, for
take.
sure.
All right, cool. Good list, man.
Yeah, thank you. You too?
Thanks, man.
Oh, wait,
All right,
that's
so
it?
That's it.
Whoa.
So we got the Montreal Expos.
Oh,
they don't
yes.
exist
The Rays are
anymore.
going to Montreal in 2028.
Oh, yeah.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, that's when their like lease goes up or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I probably will, to be honest. I don't
I'd
think
love
Montreal.
that.
I don't think Montreal deserves a team because they already blew it. But a city like Vegas,
Oh, or Portland. That was
Portland,
another good
or
one.
Carolina, like Charlotte.
Oh, yeah. They have Atlanta, but that's not for a while, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Some coastal team.
Yeah. So I think that's all we got for you guys today. So once again, check out our Instagram where we break news an hour late. Call into our show 585-622-4931.
You'll get a cookie.
Yeah.
In the shape of a baseball.
Please subscribe. That's really what we want. And also the James McCann video. How the hell does that have that many views? Here, let me get a view count going. But anyways,
It's in
guys,
all caps. Raking. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, guys,
Short.
please subscribe and comment that you did. We'll shout you out. Leave any comments, questions, suggestions, all that in the comment section. Yeah, 234 views, which for us is like absurd.
Oh, yeah.
And also any baseball creators, anyone, hit us up. We really want to collaborate with some people. So yeah. Ben, any last words?
See you. Oh, wait, nope. Can't do that one. That's the national one.
Yeah, no. Oh, yeah. That's how we're going to end it. All right. You guys.
Out of here.
All right. No, you do the Yankees one. And we will see you guys next time.
See ya.